Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Flying Over 50 at Any Age. I am Cyrus Webb, joined by my co-host, Makeda Smith, the best-selling author of the book by the same name. Welcome to those joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. We're about to connect with our friends over on Amazon Live for today's show, and it's another great one. This one's a very personal one, but it's a great message for all of us to remember. And we're now live on Amazon Live for Flying Over 50 at Any Age. So glad you guys could join us for today's broadcast. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon platform, welcome. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. You see it here in this corner or down below. We have some brand new programming coming to Amazon beginning next week. Our new art show, The Art Spot, premieres next Monday. So make sure you guys are following us to stay connected with all of our programming here. And you will also see in the carousel Makeda's book there. Makeda, welcome back.
Hello, Cyrus. Blessings, everyone.
So good to be able to see you. Allie Dalsimer is joining us over there on IG. Hello to you, Allie. Good to be able to see you. And Allie,
Hello,
congratulations
hello.
to you. Makeda, Allie just won another award for her book, It's Okay Not to Be Fabulous Every Day.
Oh, that's so fabulous.
Hello to you,
She,
Mocha.
wait, she is actually fabulous every day.
Oh, she is that. Hello, Insight Magazine, hello to you. Mocha Mama, hello to you. I love that name.
Hey, everybody.
Makeda, a great message we're going to get into today, but I want to let our audience know we're hitting a milestone today. This is week 10 or day 10 in Makeda's book. That means we're almost at the halfway mark. Makeda, what are your thoughts about how this series has been flowing?
It's flowing. You say day 10 like it's so far along. I say day 10 like, oh my God, we're just getting started.
Well, you know what? It does move quickly. And I think this whole year, I think everyone would agree is moving quickly,
This
right?
year is moving quickly. So
Yeah.
I don't know why my podcast is dragging because the year is going swoop.
Right. It really is. Well, this is another great one. And I want our audience, I'm going to be reading this week, but I want our audience to really think about a few things that Makeda and I have talked about already in this series. One is how movement continues to show up in each one of these messages that she shares with us. Two, the decision to do something, whether we're talking about from the very beginning and leaving an abusive situation to be able to go and make a different lifestyle for her and her daughter, or a decision to enter, a new career when it comes to PR. There's so many ways that decision kind of shows itself up. And then it leads to the third thing, and that is the action that's taken and what's on the other side. Makeda, as we were just talking before we went live here. What has it been like for you to see how those themes have been showing up? And did you see that when you were writing the book?
Yes, definitely saw when I was writing the book. When I was living it, not necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah.
But writing it and reflecting back, it's like, oh, this got me to here and this got me to here. And if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been prepared for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like hindsight is 2020 vision for real.
Yeah, it really is. And that's why I encourage people, if you have not gotten your copy of Makeda's book, Flying Over 50 at Any Age, it's a great book for men and women, I think, to be able to read, Makeda, because of course it has it's 30 days, right, and for the book, but you can basically be able to pick it up and choose any day to be able to take that message and kind of be that thing. Makeda, do you see yourself referring back to the book?
Every week, Cyrus.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me ask you this question before we get into today's message. Is it reinforcing the strength that you already have seen in yourself, or is it reminding you of the strength that's inside of you?
I think it's doing both. It's reinforcing and it's reminding, which is why I think journaling for anyone is really important, which is why, like, at every day of the book, I encourage the reader to journal, because the introspection of journaling does so much for your spirit that you don't even realize.
Yeah.
Like had I not sat down and journaled to write this book, I wouldn't have had so many revelations would have just gone past me without me really, owning them.
Right.
And then of course talking to you is positive reinforcement every week.
Oh, I love that you said positive enforcement. I love, thank you
It's
for that.
positive.
I appreciate that. That's what we try to do here on the show. Today's message, again, is day 10 in the book. When they try to play your passion. This is a big one, y'all. Again, and I want you to, as I'm reading this, even though we're talking about Makeda's journey and we're going to be discussing this, think about a situation that you may have been in and how you handled it and what helped you to move forward. Because I think that's one of the big takeaways from this week. So this is what Makeda writes for day 10, when they try to play your passion. Orchestrating publicity campaigns was my absolute passion until I was betrayed. There was a client I worked with for over 5 years and poured my passion into. In fact, upon first meeting him via a referral, my visioning for him included Oprah and beyond. I want to say she's not talking about me, y'all. Just want to make put that out there. I poured my excitement into my work to create and elevate his. Well, what happened next, long story short, after he got famous, he betrayed me and forgot all my hard work that got him there. The matter was eventually handled via lawyers, but for me, the damage was beyond financial. My enthusiasm for my heartfelt work had been stomped on, and deep healing was needed. I had a mini breakdown after the entire matter was over. I stayed in bed for weeks and did very little work. I spent the time in quiet reflection, pondering where and how the situation had gone wrong. It was my first hard lesson about the travails of fame and fortune and how it can deeply affect people's heart and soul, their soul. The scenario also made me deeply aware of my personal talents and gifts. As this character went on to achieve worldwide fame, the fame my vision had foreseen over him, yes, the world may have applauded his talent, but no one makes it alone. It takes an equally talented and dedicated team. Acknowledging and honoring my own gifts gave me the strength to continue to carry on and, yes, to keep supporting and nurturing others as well. Have you ever been deeply betrayed? Did the situation leave you drained? Did it temporarily deplete your drive? Remember, all flights have turbulence, but it's up to you to be the pilot of your journey. Take a landing break if needed, then keep coasting. This is a really powerful one, Makeda. What was it like for
Can
you
we show
hearing?
the photo? Can we
Oh
show
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
photo?
Oh, of
Okay.
course, yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead. What was it like while I'm pulling this up? What was it like for you hearing
Okay.
it?
Um, the word that came to mind, I kept thinking about resilience and the power of resilience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what came to mind, how having resilience is so important.
Yeah, yeah. This
Yeah.
is one. This is one of those messages that even though you've talked about challenges before, Makeda, like we've talked about, where you didn't know how the phone was going to be stay on in one situation,
Mhm.
and as I mentioned, leaving the abusive situation, you're being able to take a chance at an internship, right? So we've seen you address different challenges. But I think the reason why this one will resonate with so many people, Makeda, is because we all know what it's like on some level to feel either betrayed or to feel unappreciated. Um,
Mhm.
do you feel like because of what you had given, is that why it hit you so hard?
Let me think. Yeah, you're making me think again, Cyrus. You know what? In that chapter, I like the use of the word turbulence
Yeah.
because when we're flying, there's always going to be turbulence. And betrayal in life is turbulence while you're flying. And do you stay stuck in that path of turbulence, even when the turbulence is over? Like you could really just be stuck in that turbulence, or do you move past it? Do you fly past it?
Hmm.
Do you soar past it? And that particular situation was really a life lesson for me because I had never encountered that kind of turbulence,
Mhm.
and it really almost took me out. But I realized that I couldn't let it take me out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's I guess it's that reoccurring theme. We fall down, but we get back up. We fall
Right.
down, but we get back up. So even through that turbulence and even falling down, I had to get back up. And I had to realize that, you know, everything is in divine order and there are lessons in everything. So I had to cull the lessons from that experience so that I could move on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we all have to do.
Right. I think this picture, for those who are watching us, I think does say so much. What do you see when you see this picture, Makeda?
For that picture for me is like flying past the turbulence and
Mhm.
still continuing to soar.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, and for me too, I think, and finding that balance, right? I think here's the thing that took away from your message, and I love the way the transparency in this, because a lot of times we try to say, "Oh, well, you know what? That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me that they didn't do this or that they didn't, you know." But the truth of the matter is, it's normal for it to bother us.
Hmm.
You know, it's normal for us to feel some kind of way when someone has done us wrong, right? And I don't think a lot of times people realize the depth of that. Did it surprise you that it took you into that level of free fall where even getting out of bed became a challenge?
Yeah, I wasn't. Yes, it did. I wasn't ready for the way it hit me because
Mm-hmm.
it hit me so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was once everything was settled and the lawyers were gone and everything was just finally completed, I literally collapsed. So I didn't even realize that I had been holding myself up, staying strong to get to the end of that journey. And then once that journey ended, all that energy that I had just been holding on to, just like it just collapsed. And I was just like, I just fell out.
Yeah, yeah.
But I also think that in times when we are embattled, and we feel the pain or the depression of that,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to own it
Yeah,
and to really embrace whatever it is you're feeling, acknowledging that once you get to the depths of it, that you're going to move past it. So usually, and I don't know if I did that then, but now when I feel like a mood or a depression or anger or something, you know, or some kind of mood swing coming on, I will let it come on. I will
mm-hmm.
fully engage with it and embrace it. And then I will acknowledge that this is temporary, it's going to pass. So let me just deal with what I'm feeling now, knowing that I'm going to move past it.
Right.
So it's again, it's like moving past the turbulence. You can't stay in the turbulence.
Right. I love that. And I want to say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. I see you guys coming in there on the different platforms. Of those joining us on Amazon, hello to you. Those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram. On Instagram, hello to you, Camilla. Good to be to see you. HR Bay, good to be to see you as well over there. For those who are just tuning in, you're watching Flying Over 50 at Any Age. This is week number 10 of my series with a best-selling author and celebrity publicist, Makeda Smith. We're talking about her book. Today's message is a really powerful one when they try to play your passion. I love the title for this one. And I love this fact that this did something else for you, Makeda. And this is a positive note of what
Mhm.
this did. Because you say this, the scenario also made me deeply aware of my personal talents and gift, and I love the fact that what that said to me, and then I'm curious as to you, is it right or what it said to you? What it said to me was that even if other people don't acknowledge what I bring to the table, even if other people don't acknowledge my contribution to what they do, the important thing is for me to know what's
Exactly.
inside of me and what I have to offer. Is that similar to what you felt or was able to embrace?
I don't think I embraced it in that moment,
Okay.
But as time moved on and I gathered the lessons from that whole experience,
Hmm.
that became a really important lesson for me. Um, as a publicist, I think a lot of times what I did was, how do I want to say this? You put so much energy into promoting your client and their talent and their gifts that
Hmm.
sometimes you forget your own talents and your gifts.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like they're here and
Hmm.
you're just there.
Right.
But that's really not the situation. They're here and you're here, and it's a synergy of the two energies combined that take everyone to the next level. So I
Yeah.
think that experience made me put more value into my own gifts, because I had to realize that when that particular client came to me, they didn't have the vision that I had for them. I
Hmm.
I had that vision,
Hmm.
and that vision came into fruition, yes, because of their talents and gifts, but also because of my talents and gifts. So they
Right.
may think, oh, it was just them, but if you look back on the path to from A to Z, it really wasn't.
Hmm.
So it's like you said, even if no one else acknowledges that, I had to acknowledge that for myself, and me acknowledging that for myself paved the way for how I moved in the future and how I start flying in the future.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
was this a difficult choice for you to make to include this one?
Yeah, it's a lot of difficult things in this book that that again I didn't know I would be discussing on a public platform.
Right. Right.
We just get into a few of them, but yes, it was. You know what? It actually was, because I included it because the lessons were so important.
Sure.
But it was a little difficult because even now, when I see that particular person, client, media wise,
Hmm.
I usually don't read it. I don't open the link. I just, I don't even give it any energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. Well, I'm glad that you did include it, and let me tell you why I'm glad, Makita. As your friend, of these many years, I never knew about the situation.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
glad. I'm glad you wrote about it. And again, it's not me. So, but the other thing is, it's a great reminder that even when, like you said, we've been knocked down, when we've been disappointed, when we felt betrayed, that
Yeah.
does not have to be the end. And it shows that everyone goes through it, right? So we
Hmm.
sometimes think, oh, other people don't know what we're going through. But when people like you that have reached your level of success can say, hey, it happened to me, and this is how I dealt with it, I think that helps us better understand, one, we're not by ourselves in it, but also
Hmm.
two, that hey, if they went through that, now look at them, I can do that too. Um, Last thing I want to ask you about this one, Makita, then I'll get your thoughts for the audience. How important was it for you not to rush it? And the reason why I ask that question is because a lot of times we'll feel like either the pressure we put on ourselves to say, okay, get over this, or the pressure we let other people put on us and say, hey, you know what? Just keep, go ahead and pick yourself up and keep going. How important was it for you to give yourself that time you needed to grieve the situation before you moved
Well, that particular experience, as I think back on it,
on? Hmm.
I don't think I had a choice. Like I literally couldn't get up out of the bed.
Gotcha, gotcha.
like that really, I think when I think back to that, I really had some kind of like I don't know, breakdown, nervous
Yeah,
breakdown. Yeah, that's what they used to call it back. I don't know
yeah.
what they call it now. But
Hmm.
when I back in the day, back when it happened, because this was like, I don't know, decades ago, I remember thinking, this is what a nervous breakdown is. Like your nervous system just shuts you down. And so you really don't have any control of it. And so when something like that happens, all you can do is surrender and give yourself time to heal. Moving fast forward into like the present time when I can feel mood swings coming on, or like there's a situation that's I know it's going to alter my mood, or like I said, anger, depression, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because those situations aren't nervous breakdowns, I can like own those situations and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. I'm going to give myself time to feel it. Maybe sometimes I'll say I'm going to give myself 24 hours, or I'm going to give myself today. And when I wake up tomorrow, we're going to be on to next. So, okay, my brain just switched and I had a thought. So
Okay.
I think also, okay, so back then when I knew I was having a nervous breakdown, I also didn't have the insight and the information I have now about the nervous system, in terms of like our parasympathetic nervous system and our sympathetic nervous system, and how we can control the ebb and flow of our moods and our vibrations. So I'm armed with a lot more tools now that I didn't have back then. But I probably had to have a total nervous breakdown to like get on the path to discover things about the nervous system.
Got it.
So I don't know if that was like way into left field,
No,
but
no, no, no. I love that. And I love the way that you are having the reflections as you're talking. Dr. Clara says, must give ourselves time to think and move accordingly. That's so
Mhm.
true, because it is such an easy thing. Um, for one thing, for us to lose ourselves in it, but also not to realize the importance of acknowledging it, because
Mhm.
acknowledging it helps us to then be able to process it and move forward. Hello to you, Robert. Good to see you over there on Facebook as well. Appreciate you guys over there on YouTube as well. Dr. Claire says, right, we do have
So
tools
many
here.
more tools now.
Yeah.
She's so
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. And I think that is this is the gift you're giving us, Makeda, through this show. That was a great idea of yours. Thank you again for
Cyrus, don't play with me.
again for one agreeing, to share all of this in this book, and then of course to have this platform.
Cyrus, don't play in my face. Go ahead, Cyrus.
Dr. Claire says exactly. Knowledge helps in so many ways, and I think too you're helping other people. I want our audience, please in the chat, let us know whether you're watching us live or the replay about what has helped you to move forward. So, I was going to ask you, Makeda, for our
Mhm.
final thoughts here. What would you say to our audience about the importance of doing, as you allude to in the title here, to recognize their own passion and not to let other people play with it?
Um, I think like the easiest takeaway from that chapter is like the most simplest way to break it down. Oh, thank you, Dr. Peters. Thank you. I think the easiest way to break it down is the idea of turbulence, because like when you're in the plane and there's turbulence and the plane does what it does, and then you get past the turbulence and hopefully the plane keeps flying and gets you to your destination. So when we have drama in life or betrayals, we have to recognize it as turbulence, but it's not necessarily a reason to keep us to not reach our ultimate destination. Like we can get past that turbulence and continue to fly, continue to soar.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of times the turbulence feels like the end, and it's not the end.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the most important thing. Like whatever you're going through, it may feel like the end, but it's really not the end.
Yeah, such a great thing. Hello to you, Steve Manchester. Good to be able to see you over there on IG. Again, everyone, Makeda Smith is our co-host of Flying Over 50 at any age. Robert says, very good point.
Thank you.
The day we're discussing today is day 10, week 10 in our series, when they try to play your passion. So the book Flying Over 50 at Any Age is available now through our friends here on Amazon. You can get it in print. You get the print edition right now for only look at it again, $9.99, or you can get the Kindle edition for $5.99. Make sure you guys do get your copy. Makeda, I really enjoyed this. Let them know how to stay connected with you and keep up what you're doing with
Uh,
the Makeda Method as well.
I don't see it on the screen.
There
Oh,
we go.
there we go. There we go. At Flying Over 50, at the Makeda Method. Those are my handles. You can Google and find me. I'm all over the internet because I'm a badass publicist.
Yes, you are. That is right. And don't y'all be playing with her passion either.
There you go.
Makeda, another great week. Thank you again. Looking forward to next week's
Thank
show.
you, Cyrus. Thank you, everybody who watched and listened in and commented. Thank you, guys. Many
We
blessings.
appreciate you guys so much. We thank you all for watching this episode of Flying Over 50 at Any Age. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.